Hi, I'm Hannah Bernard, and we're here at the 6th Annual AlphaNorth Capital Event Conference here in Bahamas. I am here right now with David MacMillan, President and CEO of Deveron UAS. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right,
Always a pleasure.
Great. Let's start off by you telling me a little bit about the company and the story behind it.
Yeah, so Deveron's basically an agriculture technology company. Co-founded the company about 4 years ago, and we started with this theme around drones and agriculture, helping farmers make better in-season decisions. Since then, we've kind of grown from one product company into multiple data acquisition kind of platforms. So one being drone, one being soil sampling, and then the other is all this various data that farmers are collecting on their farms. And then the second sort of product offering is around data analytics. So we collect all this information and then we aggregate it, and then we help growers understand where should I put better fertilizer applications, how much seed should I use. So it's a really two-pronged approach. We look at data aggregation or acquisition, and then data analytics. And that's something we've been offering when we first started in Ontario. Now we're across Canada and in the US Midwest.
Wow, it's fascinating. So how do you differentiate yourself from other companies in your sector?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, around what we do specifically, there isn't really anyone out there. So I guess 4 years ago when I first started going down to Silicon Valley, everyone was focused on hardware and sensors and really how to build these machines. We looked at it as more as a data as a service model. So there's a lot of inefficiencies around actually owning these things that you're maybe only going to use once or twice. And our interest was building a network that would allow farmers to order information when they wanted it, as well as match people that could collect that information through our data platform. So I think it's kind of unique. A lot of folks in the ag sector are building places where all this data lives, but they don't actually provide insight and they don't actually collect all the data. So that's one of our really unique features. I mean, in the public markets, I think agriculture technology is a really underfollowed sector. We've got a couple folks that are doing things. It's really a special situations play, I suppose. And I think we're really unique in North America.
Sounds like it. You have kind of a unique approach across the board. So tell investors what they can look forward to coming in the next 6 months, some growth strategy and maybe some goals from the company.
Sure. So last year we set out to grow our acres under management. I think a really good barometer for how we're doing is the number of users or farmers that we have using either the data acquisition side or the data analytics side. We're now at roughly about 225,000 acres under management. The goal is by the end of next year, so not quite 6 months out, but by the end of next year to have 1 million paid acres under management. Our rough average revenue per acre is about $5. So to grow the company now from roughly $1.5 million run rate to $5 million, and I think we're sort of on pace. We've really started to hit that eclipse where people recognize the brand of the company. We've got some good penetration in the US Midwest. And agriculture is one of those funny things. It's not meet a customer today and exponential gain tomorrow. It really takes 2 or 3 years to build that relationship. But once you have them, they're your customer forever. So it's a little bit more of a private capital model, but we're trying to take it to the public markets and show people that over a 5-year period, we have a new company to build that's going to be quite transformational.
And it seems like you're a bit of a trailblazer yourself. It's very unique in the company as itself and the approach that you have. But is there anyone that you've kind of looked up to in your career throughout it? Is there someone maybe as a role model that you have? Yeah,
it's a good question. Rather than giving, I think, one specific name of all these trailblazers that everyone knows, like Steve Jobs, and we were talking earlier about Richard Branson. I'm a follower of entrepreneurs in general, and I think one person who has personally touched me is actually on my advisory board. His name's Dave Mazzotti. He came out of Harvard in I think the 80s and started to work for Ted Rogers. He was actually one of the first people that brought cable internet to Canadians. So that to me was, here's a real world person that is not sort of a famous name per se, but has been involved with numerous public companies and has taken the time when we first met with a crazy idea to sit me down and say, hey, you have a vision, this is how we build it, and I want to be part of it. And I think it's a really selfless ask that has really impacted me. So it's one of those things where you kind of cross all these chasms of people as you're building a company, and he's been really influential for me.
Well, it's fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing all of that insight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you.